Female sexuality is so much more vast and deep than we could ever possibly imagine. So the first time I came across throat orgasm was from a famous Tantra teacher who I can't name because he was abusing his students. And I went to one of his virtual workshops in Bali, and he was in Los Angeles. And he was like, women can have a throat orgasm and they can literally ejaculate from the throat. And I was like, bullshit. And he literally would do this, maybe now in hindsight, really shady thing where he would energy fuck different people from across the ocean, and they would have really deep orgasms. So there was this Dutch grandmother, and she was literally lying next to me, and he energy activated her throat. And she not only had the most incredible throat orgasm, maybe that I've ever seen in my life, she also literally like had what seemed like ejaculate coming out of her throat. And I was like, whoa. And I remember I called my boyfriend after the workshop, and he was like, how's the workshop? And I was like, honey, there are things on heaven and earth that you would not believe are possible. And I just had this like experience of, we spend all this time going to like Mars and mining asteroids for diamonds. I mean, we haven't done those things yet, but like all of like, you know, brightest minds are like focused on that. And we don't even know what's possible in our own bodies. Like our own bodies are the biggest untapped potential. And so after that, I learned how to have my own throat orgasms by myself or with a lover. And it's divine. It's so divine. So I'm going to share with you in this video the basic steps, because there's deep advanced steps and there's basic steps to start to activate your throat orgasm potential. And so in this video, I'm going to share those basic steps with you so that you can start to unlock this capacity within you. I've also included down below a free sex magic practice. So this is one of the best practices to start experimenting with and exploring what it's like to unlock your chakras with sexual pleasure. And you also get to combine that with manifestation, which is so powerful and so potent. So the key to a throat orgasm is to first give yourself about a 5-minute meditation practice on your throat chakra. So this is the base of your throat, and the shatram, the front of the chakra, is the front of your body, and then you have the back of the chakra out the back. So you can basically focus on the area from the pit of your throat all the way to the back of your spine, across from the pit of your throat, and just bring your awareness here and to the energy here in your throat. So this helps center your presence and your energy in this area of your body. And then what you want to do, if you are self-pleasuring, is you want to start to build sexual, sensual pleasure inside of your body. And as soon as you start getting turned on enough that you feel like you could start moving towards orgasm or a peak state of pleasure, you want to bring all of the pleasure with your mind to that same area, to the throat chakra that you were just focusing on. And it's like you're pulsating the pleasure into your throat. And as you do this, the sexual pleasure will actually activate and open the throat chakra, and it will allow the throat chakra to become orgasmic. So it feels just like it does, like the sensation feels different, but the actual experience is like when you have an orgasm in your clitoris, right? It's like your clitoris feels energy building and building and building, and then all of a sudden there's this like oceanic peak of pleasure. Well, the same thing can happen if you build energy over and over and over again in your throat. You can get a peak experience of pleasure in your throat. That is spectacular. So one of the key points, if you're not fully unlocking, right, you're just feeling pleasure in the throat, but you want to take it to the next level, is to actually sound what you're feeling in the throat, because the sound vibration will even more fully unlock the throat chakra. It will also allow the energy to pulsate even more deeply and fully. So sounding, one of my 5 holistic tools from the Vita methodology, is one of the most powerful ways to unlock energy and orgasmic potential when you use it correctly. So to demo this throat orgasm process is an amazingly courageous woman, Jennifer, who is in my Vita Sacred Sexuality program. And it takes so much courage to show these practices to the world. And yet I believe in it so much, right? Because we have to counter the narrative of, you know, female sexuality being so limited, or about performance, or about what you see in porn, with what's truly possible in the female body. So as you watch Jennifer, I really encourage you to transfigure her, see her as the courageous goddess that she is, and help us rebuild how we see each other in states of sexual surrender and power. And Jennifer's also going to be sharing with you how she experiences throat orgasm, what helps her get there, what it feels like inside of her own body as a way to support you on this adventure as well.
The first time I can remember the beginnings of these types of orgasms for me was when I was learning how to deep throat with a partner. We were sort of exploring BDSM together and some domination and submissive play. And I really wanted to learn how to do this. I realized that sexual confidence actually just comes from practice. And I remember after a few months of just like, making this a big part of our sex play, I remember my throat would just start to get excited, like almost in the same way that my pussy might get excited for sex. My throat was starting to crave penetration. That was new for me. It felt like there was a flower. It's the only thing I can explain, like a flower, like a bud, right, is living here in the throat. And when that orgasm came, it was like the flower opened and I just wanted to receive so deeply. Like I couldn't get enough. And the waves of pleasure kind of went almost all the way down to my womb. And I just felt very connected. Following Layla's content, I also watched her video on sounding, and I had a lot of grief to let go of after my infertility journey, after my divorce, and actually this year going through breast cancer. And so using my voice during sex and during self-pleasure actually, I think, started a huge transformation in me.
So if you want to learn more about how to activate and unlock your chakras and how to do that with the power of sexual energy, then I've included the free Sex Magic audio download below. It'll walk you through the practice step by step. It'll allow you to start incorporating this powerful practice into your own pleasure practice on the regular. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And I really truly believe that the resonance of the planet will change when more and more of us are having electrifying, expansive, beautiful throat orgasms.